The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Welcome back to the Shed as we continue our Dungeon World campaign set in the world of Alamand. The pirates are coming. The heroes are deputized. Only one side can win the conflict. Let's see how our party handles it. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome back to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, Stitcher Radio, Google, plus Bing, regular Google, unregular Google, whatever Google you feel like using. And we are going to go around the table and say hi. We're going to start here with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. Everyone Googled each other right now. Okay. Mm. Nice.
Whoa, don't touch me there.
I play Nessalus, the warlock tiefling in this Dungeon World adventure. Yes, we made our own little race.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
It fits into the elf for those who follow along with this little story that we have going.
This thing.
Clemente here.
Playing JJ.
Playing JJ. Yep. And I just found lettuce on my character sheet.
Nice. Thanks, Kurt.
How did that get there?
Yeah. This is I think it was the Russian mustard.
The Russian mustard.
Nice.
I am playing Truk. He was a human monk in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now he is a human fighter with monk-like traits who may have a little druid in him.
Every once in a while.
Whoa.
And I beg to differ with
Hope he consented to that.
Mickey's characterization as this little story. This is an epic tale!
Well, it's a little epic tale story.
It hasn't quite...
With a little druid in him.
With a little druid in him.
Still growing. But we've got high hopes.
Yeah.
Is he a grower, not a shower?
He's a grower, not a shower.
Okay.
And next is...
Okay. This is Elena, the human bard.
Also who plays Brit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Who's
Brit?
All the time.
Fantastic. And I'm Joe. I am the game master for this Dungeon World campaign set in the world of Alamand. We are continuing what had started with as a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And we are going to do a quick recap of our last session, brought to you by none other than the lovely Kurt.
This will be a very brief recap because our last session we talked about the conversion from D&D 5e to Dungeon World. We recapped how we transitioned our characters, talked about our new powers, and then we jumped right back into our adventure. After several months away, the characters had done different things, but most significantly, Truk had spent significant time with Drugnach, the Great, known as the Wild Walker, and had earned his great new staff, which is in fact a branch of Frederica. The band has been brought back together because an ominous message was brought to several of them by a little bird who said that perhaps Calamite had made... This isn't exactly the message, but the takeaway was that Calamite had made a deal with the South Sea Pirates to augment his profit by defending the merchant from said South Sea Pirates, essentially playing both sides of the coin, both sides of the field, and now they are coming after him, and he cannot pay them off. We cannot buy them with coin. No. They want blood.
There will be blood.
And that's the conversation sitting around the conference room table in the charter house named...
The Fires of Ascaroth.
The Fires of Ascaroth. So now I have to write that, JJ, while you pick up the conversation with the rest of the characters about what Kurt was just talking about.
So on the current PowerPoint presentation is I had the leader of the South Seas Pirates, Jeff. And it's the fancy Jeff, Geoff.
Oh, Joff.
It's just the fancy Jeff. And he is quite skilled with the cutlass. And on contrary to popular belief, he does not have a peg leg or a parrot. And he is brutal. He never leaves survivors. We have next to no information because there's no one to tell us that. And then his right-hand man is Fred.
How do you spell that?
Fred?
It's with two R's.
Yeah. Fred. And he's basically...
It's a real pirate.
He is the new wizard in training, as far as we know.
That's the weakness.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Why is no one pointing out the fact that Calamite kept this secret from us for ages?
I
don't
did.
know.
I spent a very long time pointing out that it was his fault.
Why are we even following along with this loser? How about
Because they're after us too.
Why don't we just sell him out?
You could try.
Why don't we give the pirates what they want?
I mean, how much do you want to buy for that?
She's a bitter teenager.
Why don't we just turn him in to the pirates and see what happens?
See, this is where you're
What if they
wrong,
take
because
us
they
also?
want you as well. If you remember correctly, on the ship, what did I do? I made sure the lives of the sailors, of the merchants, stayed alive. Whereas you guys, you shot a bow and arrow at them, you threw some Eldritch Blast, and he went up and
You
whooped ass.
threw an invisible flying troop at them.
Threw a monk
So,
at him.
let me point something out to you.
There has been no
Their
hostility
biggest-
toward the pirates from me.
This is all your fault.
Yeah, he just happens to be the ringleader. Right.
This is all your fault.
And now you're in it with me.
Kicking his ass after this.
Knee deep.
This is what we call group cohesion.
There is a legitimate question whether Calamite is a trustworthy party member going forward, but in the near term,
Yeah.
a threat is a threat.
Fine.
My motives have been clear this entire time.
Let's also
No, they have not.
let's also keep in mind that he probably had the largest hand as far as damage and healing and keeping Nessalus alive.
Still don't like him.
You don't have to like him, but it's considering that was the last time you guys were together. Realistically, in character, that would probably still be on your mind.
I mean, Nessalus is worth more to me alive than dead.
And that's the other way to look at it. I was trying to be a little nicer. But yeah, that monetarily.
Still don't like him.
Yeah.
But I'll listen.
So where are we going to find them?
What I want to do is I want to take the fight to them. So they have to dock if they want to find us here in Wint. I mean, otherwise, I have some messengers, some scouts to the north and the east, up and down the coast, to see if they can watch for if there's a boarding party, come on land there. That way we have a little advance notice of them coming in. And I want to set up an ambush. I start passing out little sheriff stars.
Oh,
I've managed to get you all deputized. So we are legally obligated now to defend this city from the intrusion of the pirates.
Are you playing the guard on both sides as well? Are there some thieves that are actually going to come after us some other time?
In the interest of full disclosure. Full disclosure.
I've paid myself off to lie to you.
This is my plan. All right? So bear with me. What I want to
bear
do...
with you?
Yes, bear with me.
How do you keep the bear docile? Is he in your pocket?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
That sounds like a personal question.
So what I want to do is I want to take the pirates, take out the leader, and then subvert them, and so that I can turn them into a merchant marine. That is the plan. And then we can sell their services to the city in order to protect them from pirates, from future pirates.
So you want to take the pirates?
I want you to take out their leadership.
You want to make the pirates pirate hunters?
Yes. Because who else? Who thinks like pirates? Who would be the most efficient pirate hunter?
Kind of turn
Clearly
him into the
you.
Coast Guard for Wint, if you will.
So, if you can go after the leadership, and this is why I'm giving you dockets on them.
So, JJ, one thing I want to ask you to do is I want you to defy danger with intelligence based on something you've said already, and depending on the roll, I will tell you what it meant.
Okay. So I have a 0 bonus to intelligence.
Okay.
And that's a 9.
All right. So, what you hear as you are in this conversation, there's a lot of scuttlebutt out in the charter house itself. And you hear a couple people shouting, and over the sounds of you guys talking, one of the shouts are, "They've landed. They're almost here."
Oh, gear up.
Game on.
And I begin to don my armor.
Oh, you're not
No
gonna go
wobbly
in-
bits this time.
No
You're not going to go
bits.
in naked?
Well, he might be partially naked at the time.
I don't wear underwear on my under my armor.
So you've been getting this presentation, literally PowerPoint, because, well,
Ba-ba-ba.
All right, so here's the deal. You hear, and anybody who happens to peek out of the room sees that the charter house has now been vacated. There's actually a lot of murmurs and stuff out on the street, and within moments of that first shout of the they are here, there are people busting in the front door, literally busting in and breaking the front door of the Fires of Ascaranth Charter House.
All right.
What are y'all doing?
I'm going to make a mental note of that and fire the scouts.
That was your roll, by the way. When you said you set the plan up, that was the roll. And the 9 meant that they didn't warn you in enough time for you to get the drop on them.
Not my problem that they failed.
Exactly.
I had to fix their fuck-ups. All right. So...
Yeah, so what do you guys want to do? You are
I want to
now,
roll initiative.
You are about to be beset upon, presumably by a bunch of pirates. As the door was busted in, you hear the splinters hit the ground, maybe a couple of screws bounce off the stone counter, and they're coming.
All right. I'm going to let Nestless know that that room over there has murder holes. If
Okay.
you wish to fire from safety.
If you wish to murder anyone and shove them in a hole.
Fuck is a murder hole?
Archery slits, the small things where you have cover while you shoot through the small hole to hit somebody else. Murder slits, murder hole.
So essentially, there's
arrow
a
slit.
great hall.
So
right?
it's like a glory hole of killing?
Yes,
Pretty much.
a glory hole of killing.
I
like
like the
that.
title.
The difference is normally the bad guys don't run up to them.
Yeah,
They try to avoid them. It's really a different paradigm, if you will.
That's a good
yeah.
point.
Oh.
So they're less enthusiastic about approaching it.
Yeah.
So Truk would, if they're literally barging in the front doors and I'm sitting there,
Yeah.
he's not going to be thinking about these glory holes and slits. He's just literally going to react.
Sorry. Yeah,
And
go ahead. Go ahead.
he's going to charge the front door.
Okay.
And he's going to have his left shoulder forward.
So as you walk out of the conference room, you see that streaming into the front door is probably about 15 or 20 pirates, just like you saw on the ship, dressed in their red and orange garb, wielding their weapons of doom, amongst them cutlasses and other types of items. They usually wear a buckler. They have the half of them have eye patches, although most of them are flipped up because they're not really blind in one eye.
Since this is Dungeon World,
Yeah.
Truk is going to jump in the air and try to run around on their heads and punch them as he runs.
Sounds like a hack and slash to me.
Yes, it does.
And let's just do a quick rule recap here on a hack and slash. Normally you roll strength. However, your signature weapon is your fists, and they are precise, which means you will be using dexterity.
Correct.
So you are rolling 2d6 plus.
So I rolled 9 plus 2, 11. So just to clarify for the folks at home, I have jumped up and I am running around on their heads and punching down as I go.
See, I see
I
more.
can't get the image of Bugs Bunny out of my head.
No, I see more Xena. Remember, there's a scene in Xena where she does that.
I don't remember, but I'll believe it. I'm
I mean, if it
thinking
was
cartoon.
2 of them, I was going to do a very graceful martial arts move. But if it's 15, we just got to go.
All right, so here's the deal.
11.
We are going to... You have an 11, so now you will deal your damage, and I'm going to let that damage happen to 3 of them.
All right, so
I'll pretty much split it up. So
Just a
your damage die for the fighter is a...
D10
There you go.
and no modifiers.
That is correct. Now, if you picked the piercing for the additional thing, you get plus 2 piercing, which means you'll get past 2 armor.
Excellent. So I rolled a 9, and I do have piercing, which is plus 2.
Okay, so I'm going to split it up to 3
your
each for
fists
3 of them.
are
So
pierced.
that move happens, and as that happens, their swords and their cutlasses are flying through the air, but Truk is able to avoid them deftly. He is out there now, and you hear the commotion. Anybody else going out into the
I want
foyer?
to run out in there.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab there's a table.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to shove it and basically knock people off their feet.
Okay. You are going to... I mean, that's
You're
still
gonna
going to be
go
a
bowl
hack
for-
and slash then.
bowl for
Especially because
pirates?
it's going to be strength-based. So you're going to be... But your goal is really to knock them back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bowling for pirates.
Bowling for pirates.
That gives me a 7.
All right, and a 7. You roll your damage.
All right.
So we will do that, and I will still pick the ones right up front because those will
5.
be the ones closest to the table. You push the table forward, and as you push the table forward, it trips up Truk, and he falls to the ground. But you also knock out 2 of the pirates with the table and push the others back towards the door so they're coming in more slowly now.
Can I take a minute and observe? What do I see? So I see Truk.
There is what seems to be an endless stream of pirates coming towards the door. Truk has just been knocked back by Calamity pushing this table forward towards the door. It has knocked over a few pirates, but also knocked Truk off of his feet because he was dancing on their skulls.
I'd just like to throw it out there that an endless stream of pirates is my wife's dream.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And if I'm off my feet, it's probably even better.
A glimmer into the life of...
And this big room that people enter in is lightly furnished. There's a counter, a big table in there. Anything else, really? JJ? I mean, it's kinda open.
There's like abacuses and was abacusi.
So being a merchant guild, it's mainly based around come in, do your transaction, and head back out.
Yep.
So I don't see anyone that could appear to be a wizard or anything. Someone that's going to sling magic at us.
Let us do a discern realities. What you are doing literally is taking a moment to examine your surroundings. And there's a basic move sheet there. If you don't have one, Brit can hand you one.
Roll my 2d6.
And you add your wisdom modifier to a discern realities.
So I see a 5 and a 3, which is 8, plus my wisdom, which is 1, so that's a 9.
All right, and now on discern realities, on a 7 to 9, you get to ask me one of those questions. And normally what we do is we try to stay close to them, but if you're specifically looking for a wizard, that can
What
easily be
should
taken.
I be looking out for?
Yeah, it can easily be taken as an answer to several of those questions. Towards halfway through the stream of red and orange, you see somebody dressed in a robe of red and orange, where everyone else is clearly dressed as a Shiver Me Timbers pirate.
So I think that my bandmates can take care of the low-level...
That's literal for me.
Yeah.
Low-level pirates. I think they've shown a history of being able to handle that sort of melee action. I'm going to focus on that wizard. And
Only one of us had melee action against the pirates.
Well, I'm talking in the
Yeah, but
past.
still,
Our
yeah,
experience to date has shown me that you guys can pretty much handle yourselves against that. It's when we run up against magic users that it's been a problem.
That's the one I was going to aim for anyways.
So I'm going to go target that wizard.
And what you want to do?
And I'm going to target him with... Let's see if we can hold person. Let's dust that bad boy.
You want to try it?
This one.
All right. So
I can see him, right?
Yes.
Or her.
It is a male.
Choose a person I can see until you cast a spell or leave their presence. They cannot act except to speak. These effects end immediately if the target takes damage from any source.
So with that, you are going to roll to cast a spell. That's 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier.
Flipping pages.
Flipping pages, yo.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Snap.
That's a 6.
Market
7.
No,
experience.
7.
Is it 7?
It's a 7.
You got a plus 3?
Yeah, I took the 16 to a 18.
Okay, all right, cool. Well, there you go then. You are able to cast the spell. However, because you have a 7 to 9, you have to pick one of those things from the 7 to 9 list and tell me which one it is so I can give you the answer on the result of your spell.
Let's go draw unwelcome attention.
They always do.
Cool. So what is it when the hold person, what is it they can't do again? Read that spell.
So with
if you
hold
would,
person, until I cast a spell or leave their presence, they cannot act except to speak.
Okay.
And it ends immediately if the target takes damage from any source.
So the hold person spell hits Fred, the wizard, and he immediately shouts, "Get her!"
Fantastic.
And they all turn to face you.
You can't really point, though, so...
Yeah, but she's the only her.
You're
You're not even out there yet.
I'm out there.
We
Just
hadn't
haven't
even
done
gotten to you
anything
yet. We hadn't even gotten to you yet. She ran out, saw
spend
the
a lot
wizard,
of
and
time
cast a
attacking
spell.
you.
They do.
Spend a lot
Yeah.
of time attacking.
I'm going to start taking it personally.
You know how when we were looking at the presentation a minute ago, and he was like, they have a new wizard, and I was like, that's what we aim for? That's what they do, too.
It happens. So, Elena can step out there after hearing, perhaps, Fred say, get her.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. Go ahead. Sorry for those listening. We are pouring some more vodka as if we need any more alcohol.
Is what? Everything is available.
Geoff.
The world is your
Is
oyster.
Geoff in here?
Do you know what he even looks like? Other
Yes.
than what you
Yes.
were described as he has a cutlass. I think it might be
He's
more
a
up to
tall-
Calamity to point him out.
He's a tall, dark,
Calamity.
handsome man.
Yeah.
So that's where I wanted to talk to you because I'm not sure what this quest is. So
Damn it. That's my mistake. We were supposed to come up with your quest before we started.
Yeah,
So,
so
let's do this quickly.
discover
As
the truth
paladin.
of pirates, and then choose up to 2 boons, an unwavering sense of direction to the leader,
Okay.
and invulnerability to edged weapons.
You're funny. All right. So then you have to, and just for those listening, we're going through the quest, which is a starting move for the paladin. JJ has picked his quest, what he set out to do, and 2 boons for that quest, and I now get to pick what he has to do. Because of what got you here, I'm going to say you are now bound by honor and truth. So while you are on this quest, you must be truthful
Okay.
and honorable.
All right.
All right. Is
Who
Elena
defines honor?
asking?
That's my question.
What's
Defines
that?
honor.
Specifically, let me tell you what the keywords are here. It says forbidden, cowardly tactics, and tricks. Now, that's open to interpretation, of course. And then for truth, forbidden is lies. So he can't lie while he's on this quest.
Okay.
Or he just gives up his boons that he gave. So is Elena asking Calamity to point out?
Yes.
Jeff is not here, but he's not far away.
Okay. He's outside.
Joff is somewhere nearby.
Joff.
I would like to, in some way, aid Truk in getting outside faster, since he seems to be the closest to the door.
Truk is near the door. Mm-hmm. Is Truk looking to get outside? I mean, have the conversation. I mean, this is Dungeon World. We're not limited to a second worth of interaction. Have the
Okay.
conversation.
He said we should go for the leader. He's not inside. Can you get out there?
Absolutely.
How do I help?
Absolutely. So here's what I want to do. In order for Truk, if Truk is indeed going to get up and run outside, Elena can get over there and try to fend off some of the pirates. So Elena would have an aid roll to Truk's defy danger. And I'm assuming that's going to
What
be a
does
defy
that-
danger with a dexterity. Now, she needs to aid you before you roll, because you will add what she has to
Okay.
your roll.
What do
Can
I
keep
roll?
The thing I just rolled.
It kind of negates her ability to assist you.
He didn't
So,
roll
let's
anything
be-
when he talked.
yeah,
about it.
exactly.
All right.
Let's be, because she is
I'll give up
trying
my
to help
12.
you. So she's going to try and help you, so then you can do it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that, I mean, her efforts aren't
What
negated.
do I roll to
You are
aid
rolling
someone?
to aid, which is aid or interfere on the basic move sheet,
Okay.
bottom right. You roll plus the amount of bonds you have with that other character.
Okay.
So in this case, it would be 1.
It's still just a
2d6.
2d6.
Every time you see
Plus
the word
1.
roll plus, it's 2d6 plus.
All right, so that's 7 plus 1 is 8.
8. And tell me what it says there.
On a 7 to 9, you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost.
All right. But you're giving him a +1 to his roll. Mm-hmm. So now, yes, Kurt, we can take your roll. I just didn't want to talk about it before she rolled.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So your roll still comes out to a 12 then, right?
Yeah, my roll was 10 on the dice plus
Yeah.
2 decks plus
Okay.
1 from hers.
So you succeed, but the point of her helping was to get in there to make sure that you were more assisted, aiding you to get out.
Okay.
And in doing so, she does expose herself to attacks from the pirates. And that is happening. There are a couple of pirates who have now, Truk has stepped outside of the building, and there are a couple of pirates who are now focusing their attention on Elena, but the rest of them are heading towards Nessalis. What does Calamity do?
Calamity is
You have
going
two
to...
people here under sword point.
Yeah, I'm going to protect Nestless for the moment.
Do you actually want to use the protect? That
For
is
the
I think it's guard, technically.
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
It's under the basic move sheet. I think it's the bottom right, bottom left.
Sorry? Defend?
Defend, that's the word. So
Here,
there,
you can-
those are all copies of it there, too. So I printed enough for each person to have one.
Okay.
But defend allows you, like it says, it allows you to do things specifically. If something bad were to come upon her, you can do something about it. Did he just take that
Yeah.
from you?
No, I want to... is it possible to use I am the law
Thank you.
to tell them to ignore Nestless?
It is, but it's a different approach. So with defend, you can stop them. With I am the law, you could incite them. So it's up to you how you handle it.
Yes.
So basically, which one?
I'm going to tell them to leave this place.
Okay. So let's do that. So it's a roll plus your charisma. For the paladin starting move, I am the law. You won't mess around no more. That was an old song. Sorry.
What?
Suicidal
right, that's a
Tendencies,
10.
the Judge Dredd song in the 90s. Yeah. So a 10. They choose one. They will choose to back away cautiously for now.
Better run.
The ones, all of them, or the ones outside? Or
The ones that are currently headed towards Nestless, because he was saying he was going to defend her.
Yep.
Sound right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, on a 10 plus, the next thing you do, you get a +1 against them.
Okay, cool.
Okay? But for now, they stopped approaching Nestless. However, they did not stop approaching Elena. You have swords being swung at you. Truk is outside. Nestless is being defended by Calamity's strong words. What are you doing about these swords that are about to hit you?
I guess trying to defend myself as best I can.
Are you trying to attack them as well, or are you just defending yourself? So are you defying
I want
danger so you
to-
don't take damage, or are you going to try and hurt them as well?
I guess defy danger. I want to... I'm sorry, I guess I had this played out in my head a little bit different than...
Well, say what you had
happened.
played out.
In
and
my
we'll
head, what
invoke
happened
rules.
was I feel like I bent down to help Truk up because he had fallen, and in trying to help him up, I slipped and was on the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to, therefore, get back up while avoiding being hit, but not attack back yet.
Okay, then that
So,
would definitely be a defy danger, and it
danger.
sounds like dexterity.
Okay.
If you're just trying to avoid being hit, that's quick moves on your feet. And
I had a question, but I forgot it.
okay. Well, you're not taken by surprise, just so you know.
Thank you.
They didn't. I guess technically they got the drop on the group, but they didn't attack first. They just showed up before you wanted them to.
Would you say that I successfully aided Truk?
Yes, you did. You had
Then
a successful aid.
do I
of
get
him.
the +1 forward?
Yes, you do.
Or do I have to specify that I am taking that move?
Nope. +1 forward is
Automatically.
That happened because you aided him.
Okay.
Okay, so the rule only happened because of what your character's action was.
Okay.
Now you have
So it would
that
be a
+1 to this roll.
+1 for my dex.
Yeah.
So that's 2 plus
Plus
7 is 9.
9. Okay. So you are going to take partial damage. Roll a d8. And we are going to cut that in half. Mm-hmm. And then minus your armor. So 1 damage. You can't get away with 0 damage.
Okay.
But you'll take 1. You rolled a 1. It could have been more.
Okay.
So you get a couple of cuts and bruises, perhaps, as you're getting up and they're swinging at you, and you're just trying to avoid them, maybe bang against a door frame or something like that. Truk, you're outside.
Damn.
There is the held wizard, and farther back, there is this larger than everyone else pirate who looks like what, JJ? What does Joff look like?
The thing that would distinguish him the most is the large brimmed hat with a bandana tied around it.
Okay.
So as long as the
And his cutlass, of course, is larger than everyone else's, and it has a couple of extra chips in it to show that he's in a lot of battles.
as long as the wizard doesn't take damage, he's held, right? As far as
Do
we
you
know.
want to ask Nestless?
Mean.
I could see this being a very logical question because you've seen her with the shadow demon,
Right.
hold person on that, and while it was being held, nobody attacked it, and as it was trying to go away, it got bitch slapped into hell. But it's perfectly reasonable for you to ask.
Right. Why don't I just yell at Nessie as I'm running, "Leave the wizard?" ?
He's sending you a
Leave
text.
the wizard?
He's sending you a text
And she's
grammatically
either going to
correct.
say, "No, punch him in the face." Or,
Nobody touch the wizard. I'll deal with him.
Right. So
There you go.
I'm going to have to ask you some questions here, but in my D&D
Please do.
character, I'm now super fast.
Yep.
And I don't take fall damage and all this stuff.
Yep.
So are we going to kind of translate that with my monk here?
Depending on what it is you're trying to do, falling will probably turn into a defy danger, and if you're successful, then your monk stuff kicks in and you don't take the damage. But if you fail completely, you might break an arm on the way down, that kind of thing. But it depends on what it is. What does the story dictate?
Right.
In
So
this
the reason
game?
I ask is I think the Cutlass guy,
Yeah.
it sounds like he's a ways away, but I was up to like 50 feet on average of speed.
Oh, you can reach him.
Okay. So in that case,
Everybody was coming to kill you.
all right, I'm going to fly by the wizard,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to try to attack Cutlass guy with the goal of disarming him.
So as it sits, he has his pirates around him. So he has his personal guard, if you will. You will need to get past them to him. So you will need to get past their swords in order to hit Joffrey.
So what I would envision is, I don't know how much I can do on a turn, but I'd envision coming in, Trug's very, very fast.
Yep.
And he's going to come in with basically a back fist to one guy, a back fist to the other guy, and then some type of disarm move on the Cutlass guy.
Forward
If-
foot to his face.
If he can do that. Back fist, and a disarm if he can do that in one move.
So here's what I want to do then. You're going to use a defy danger followed by a hack and slash.
All right, defy danger.
Defy danger to get past
Oh,
them.
yeah. What's the modifier on that?
It is the way you were describing it. I'm going to call it strength because you were trying to push them out of the way in order to get to the other
I
guy.
think it's fair to say that I failed that. I'm going to mark an experience.
Mark
since I
an
rolled
experience, as in Dungeon World, when we get a 6-, you mark an experience. It is how you get more experience for your character. And maybe you'll learn from this experience in that as you get closer and you swing your fists, they throw their bucklers up and you bash your hand on one of the spikes of the bucklers, and you will take a D4 of damage.
Right, so I would envision that as I underestimated the guard.
Yeah, they got their guard up quickly. Ha 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 ha.
So I take two damage
Minus
So
your
you
armor.
will take that.
minus armor.
We're not going to count armor on this one. Just take the 2 damage.
Just 2. All right.
I actually, instead of doing the D8 and having it and all that stuff, I just had you roll a D4 and we'll take that damage straight up.
Okay.
So that happens, and they're able to push you back. So you are now still outside of that maybe 7-8 foot perimeter they have around Joff. Now back inside, as that's going on, Calamity I'm sure would have seen that, and Nessalus would have seen that. What was Nessalus's next move against the wizard? He is glaring at you with all the hatred a wizard can muster.
Bring it on, bitch. Sorry.
So really,
She's
what I would
feeling very
think,
cocky right now.
what would you do to
She does
the
every time
wizard,
she
if
gets the whole
anything?
person
Because
right.
you would know your spell it would be negated with damage, right?
Correct.
So
Is
what
she-
would
Which
you
is
do to
why
this
she
guy?
said, leave the wizard to me.
Okay.
Well, in hold person, if she casts something else, she also loses the
Right.
spell.
It
That's
depends
what I'm
on if it
looking
says
for.
it's ongoing.
You just said that.
When
you were reading it.
Ends immediately if the target takes damage from any source.
All right.
Or
it
if
says,
you cast
wait,
something
hold
else.
person until you cast a spell or leave their
Leave its
presence, they
presence.
cannot.
Exactly.
Accept-
So
expect
if you cast a
to
spell,
So my question to the GM is,
Yeah.
my magic missile, i.e. Eldritch Blast,
It's a spell.
is a spell.
Yep.
So there's nothing I can do other than continue to hold this dude.
If
you
you're
could throw one of your daggers.
if you're considering magic only, then yes. But your character is more than magic, right?
Oh,
Maybe
no.
not a lot more, but more.
Not much
you
more.
could be
That's right. She still has her daggers.
you could be offering aid to other people, throwing your daggers at people who aren't
Who aren't
the wizard. You could even just go up and punch one of them in the face if you want.
Punch him in the face. No, so
Not with that strength,
Let me
mind you.
think.
While you're thinking, Calamity, what are you doing here? So Elena is standing at the door, getting cuts and bruises from the pirates.
You're next to me, right?
Truk is outside, bouncing off of Joff's guards, and you are right near
I
the
am
door,
working
maybe behind
on
that table.
evicting these unruly tenants from my charter house.
So Nessie would reach into her cloak pockets, I guess,
Yep.
and say, "Here, Truk, these are my lucky daggers. I want them back."
You mean Calamity?
Yeah, sorry, Calamity. My bad.
The other Truk.
The other Truk. Here, Calamity, these are my lucky daggers. I want them back. Take out the pirates. Make sure that nobody touches the wizard.
Okay.
There you go. And what's kind of neat to me as a Dungeon World idea, you throwing the daggers are way more effective than her throwing the daggers because you're much better at it. If you choose to do that, of course.
So yeah, I want to continue to muscle these people out of the storeroom, out of the charter house.
So the ones that had kind of paused, that were looking at Nessalus, are starting to back out past Elena. They look like they're looking out at Jeff outside to find out what's up with him. Maybe he needs some help. So technically that's the other half of them backing away cautiously from your I am the law, and now they're going to find something else to do.
All right. You said I got a group of them to come out, and then there was a group around Elena.
They're just ones at the door, ones you didn't knock over with the table. They're just standing at the door. They all still want to come in. Their initial target was you, but then, wizard.
So yeah, I'm going to charge the door.
Yep.
And again, with the idea of pushing them out, so it is going to be like a full-on bull rush with my shield out in front and slam into them.
So what I want to do then is give Elena the opportunity to aid you because she's right at the door.
Okay.
As Calamity charges forward, are you going to try and
you
help
hear
them?
incoming?
Probably some kind of neat little hurdle over the table.
So
Try to get through there. So you have a bond with Calamity,
yes, 7.
A 7. So you will help him by giving him a +1, but also expose yourself to some danger here. The way you've described it, JJ, I'm going to call this a defy danger with Constitution. You don't want them to hurt you, but you are going to bowl through them with your bulk.
Okay.
Right?
And so I'm going to roll my 2d6. I got a 7 on the dice, plus 2 Constitution,
That's 9.
plus her 1.
Exactly. So that turns it into a 10, which Elena, the way that Brit had described her character to me, also mentioned meat shield. This is a good example of that. You've exposed yourself to getting hurt so he can be completely successful.
Yeah.
In this case, you will do the same again as he's pushing forward and you're trying to get people in front of him. You're having to push against pointy bits like swords and stuff in order to do it. Yeah. That is going to cause you some damage again. So we're going to do what I did with Kurt. You're just going to roll a d4 and take that much damage.
Okay.
And this is kind of self-inflicted as you are pushing
And
them.
that does not...
Don't even count armor.
Don't count
yeah,
armor.
It's just
Okay.
easier at this case. We'll just do a d4 and take that much damage. And Calamity is successful in pushing everyone that was inside of the charter house out into the street. So this is now a street fight.
Okay.
Street fight.
Street fight. Truk. You're out there. What's going on now? They are keeping you at bay.
Right.
I would say even easily. These are definitely skilled warriors.
Right, so I underestimated them, but not foolishly. I mean, they were just better guards than I thought they were.
Yeah.
So I'm still up front with them, currently by myself. So I'm going to...
Yeah. Now, everyone else is 20-something feet away, and there is still 10 to... I'd say, putting a number on it, we've got Jeffrey and Fred the Wizard, and then we've got probably about 12 other pirates.
Right.
So you've got plenty going on.
I'm tempted to retreat and get with my colleagues, but instead I'm going to... So I basically just bounced off of them. We're still in motion, and I'm going to spin around backwards as fast as I can, draw my staff off of my back, because I wear my new staff slung across my back, which is the branch from Frederica, which is very powerful. And I'm going to draw that off and try to do a spinning sweep with the staff to take basically the feet of the guards out from under them.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to kill them.
Yep.
But I'm basically trying to sweep around and hit as many of their feet as I can, which if was successful, they would fall and
Yep.
would open up the head cutlass pirate.
Well, let's find out. That sounds like dexterity to me. You are going to try to not have them hurt you while you are tripping them. So defy danger with dexterity.
Right. Which should work because I'm going low. So unless I roll horribly, it should be a fairly safe move.
Let's see.
8 plus
Very nice.
2 is 10.
10. All right, so that happens. And perhaps what has distracted them slightly, allowing you to perform this nearly flawless sweep, is Jeff turns at the commotion coming out of the door and points at Calamity and says, "That's him. He must pay."
Oh, son of a bitch.
And as he's saying that, maybe some of the guards are turning, and you just get right in there at exactly the right time, and you sweep under the feet of 3 of them.
Right.
And his like right flank is now open, if you will.
Right. And so I've swept them. I'm in my down low defensive move, and if I have a second,
Yeah.
I'm going to just yell to Nessie,
Yeah.
"Now's the time," because he's open, or
Okay.
partially open.
Fred is.
Jeff.
Jeff is.
Jeff. The pirate leader. Jeff.
If I were you, which I don't know how well I can communicate this, but fuck the wizard, blast this dude.
You would say, I think you
Yeah.
would say, fuck the wizard, blast this dude. Okay.
But I'm a monk, so I would probably say something like, grasshopper,
Forget the wizard."
Focus your energy on the powerful one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to her, that would be the wizard.
Well,
It could
To
be.
me, that would be the wizard.
It very well could be.
Because that's all I see right now.
he's a fledgling wizard. He's little.
But now
He's
it's
baby
like,
wizard.
So is she. I mean, probably not anymore, but
now I'm a badass.
She's a hot 19-year-old tiefling warlock now.
Exactly. I moved
she's like 17.
I
No.
moved on from my training bra. I have my big girl bra.
Hey, girl.
Nice.
Hearing that,
Yeah.
she would say, "All
Take
right,
off her bra?
Truk, I'm going to listen." Hike up her bra and say, "All right." So she's going to drop hold person on the wizard and fireball Jeffrey.
Oh, snap. That's our first fireball. Truk's right there, too. So let's see what happens.
It's all right. Truk's got a lot of hit points.
Well, I can fireball Jeffrey.
But
Center it on
fireball
him.
does 2d6 to things in the area
Okay.
nearby.
All right, let's fireball.
Now, he told you to do it, so go.
It'll
Alright.
be the guards and Fireball and Jeff and True.
Yeah.
Yep, let's blow. Let's blow this thing. See
Let's
what happens.
blow. You blow first.
I blow first.
Go for it.
So I rolled 2d6.
Yes, you do. Always. Plus your intelligence modifier.
Oh, fuck yeah. There's
Okay.
an 11 on the dice right there.
So you super succeed. Now here's something you can do. This is where we can look at that move, the advanced move of Empower Spell. Or Empowered Magic, sorry. On a 10 plus, you have the option now that you could maximize the spell's effect, which in this case would be full damage, or you could double the amount of targets, meaning, and the way I play that is with a fireball, you essentially make the radius a lot larger.
Bigger. No, let's maximize centered
And you don't
on
have to.
Jeffrey.
If you do, then you have to pick something from the 7 to 9 list as well.
And
you don't
this
have to do it.
Is
The
where
7 to
would
9
be?
list of casting a spell, like drawing the
ritual?
unwanted attention to
No.
yourself.
Oh, right here. Cast the spell. Got
Yeah.
it.
So you'd have to draw unwanted attention to yourself, take a -1 ongoing for casting, or forget the spell, or just let it cast as is.
All right, so where we're sitting right now, so there's a magnificent fireball emanating from
And it's going to be a little bit of
hands.
a curveball, because it's going to go out the door and maybe to the right and go to where Jeff is.
Oh, I imagine. Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Before you cast,
Did you mute your microphone, Kurt?
there
There you go.
have I lost all of my self-healing monk traits from D&D?
Right now, we have not accounted for that yet.
So here's how I kind of picture it. Right. So I
You have it.
I'm gonna burn.
You'll have a healing potion and bandages to heal, but
We'll take
yeah,
care of you.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you, boo. Don't worry.
All right.
So I would imagine she would have cast Hold Persons, walked to get. So it's like, battle of the minds between her and this wizard. She's
Yeah.
been like giving him the stink eye. He's been giving her a dirty eye look on the way back. She sees all this unfold. She sees Churk do his massive maneuver where he just Truk do his massive
Not
maneuver.
Turok, Dino Hunter. True.
knock down all these pirates. He
Yeah.
turns around and says,
Get him.
"Get him. Forget the wizard. Get him." And then, kind of like the sea parting, she sees Jeff in front of her.
Yeah.
Right? She says, fine, drops hold person, fireballs, does amazing stuff because her diary has been working with her on this spell.
Okay.
For months.
For months.
Because, the last one that she tried, where she tried to control people with Elena and the monastery, that still kind of bothers
still
her.
tricky, yeah.
So she's been focused on her focus magic. Does her fireball. I kind of see this, like, as soon as she lobs it, it's like awesome. She knows, this is a home run.
Cool.
So now she's going to intensify.
Okay.
Instead of increasing the radius, she sees that people are kind of close together.
Yeah.
She's going to intensify it on Jeff, and whoever is directly around him,
Duck. Yeah.
be damned. So it's kind of like it's like a
Literally.
giant Trook duck. She's
Yeah.
going to crispy this guy.
I'm pretty dexterous, though. Do I get a save in Dungeon World?
It's not necessarily a save, but we'll see if you're about to die first.
Okay. So I would think that I would get to make some type of acrobatic move away as I see this coming. But I'll
If you
defer to your
if you
judgment.
saw it coming.
Well, I called to her and said attack.
He's
Yeah.
on the floor. He's
Yeah.
like, attack. Mm-hmm. So can she focus on Jeff?
Well, yes, but your fireball still explodes.
Yeah, it does explode.
Yes, and hits everything nearby.
All right. So
And
that's-
he can't be there without being nearby.
I don't know. And, she's just going to take something from the bad list.
Go for it.
Let's do,
Let's not do True
Just-
gets a singed scrotum.
draw. We'll just draw more unwelcome attention.
Okay.
Sound
Go
good?
for it. So
As if they don't already notice you.
You've cast the spell.
Oh, but now
They're going
an
to.
even more of a
Now, a
badass.
fireball is 2d6 damage, which ignores armor. However, you're going to do you're going to do the full amount of 2d6. So you're going to do 12 damage to Jeff and everything nearby. Yes. What does that mean to Truk?
He's dead.
No.
Not nearly.
No, Truke's pretty strong because I've got the fighter base.
Yeah.
So I've still got, after my prior hit and that, 12 hit points.
Okay.
I am-
What do you actually have as a maximum? I'm curious.
26.
26, okay.
Because it's 10 plus con, and my con is at 16.
Okay.
I
So
took 2
that when the fireball goes off, Truk definitely gets singed. However, the pirates in the area, including Jeff, are just screaming or just falling to the ground, smoldering, and it's a pretty
Effective.
effective. It's a devastating sight. It's probably the brightest ball of fire you have ever seen. It burns intensely for moments and leaves that spot in front of your eyes. And
There's like a silence falls,
Yes.
and all you hear is ee.
it's like the fire burned away sound.
Well, and even though I'm definitely still standing, I'm bloodied.
Bloodied.
So, like, anyone who can do anything quickly to keep me from burning all over, please do.
Calamte. Please go
And
check on
Elena
Truk.
sees the wizard, Fred, is now chanting something and wiggling his fingers at Nessalus.
No.
Yes.
Not my baby girl.
I'm going to tackle him.
Okay. So are you going to hurt him or just like knock him over? I mean, is this a
Hurt him.
It's a hack and slash.
Throat
Hurt
punch.
and
You are drawing your sword and slashing at him. Yes.
hurt and knock him prone if possible.
Okay.
Damn it, just go.
I think Mickie just wrote, I have to pee. Kurt just stepped out to pee. I have to pee. Mickie has to. Everyone has to pee. So we'll be taking shifts here to
All
finish
right.
out this episode, I'm
So
sure.
I'm sorry, you said hack and slash.
This is going to be a hack and slash. If you intend to hurt, it's
Yes.
going to be a hack and slash. If you intend to do something else, it is nearly always a defy danger.
Okay.
In this case, if you want
I
to
want
do
to
any
try to
damage,
hurt and knock him prone.
so you will charge forward with your rapier and your shield drawn, and
Yep.
It's actually a long sword now.
your long
And-
swordier.
Okay, so it's plus my strength plus the +1 because my last roll was to assist
yes.
him, and I did that
So
successfully.
you have a +3 to this roll.
So +3
Yeah.
to
4.
a 4, 7.
That's a success.
that's a 7.
However,
You got some experience.
deal damage.
Okay.
6 minus his experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So deal your damage, which
Okay, I'll
is
do
your
damage
damage
first.
die.
Okay. It's this one. 6.
Nice.
Wait,
Okay.
do I add anything to that?
No.
Okay, 6.
So you deal 6 damage to him as his spell gets off, and the effect appears to be a little wobbly. He casts technically a magic missile, and his magic missile is actually a skull and crossbones that flies through the air because he's a practicing pirate. And the skull and crossbones kind of splits in half right before it reaches Nessalus, and will only do 1d4 damage. Which
So you want me to roll that?
Yeah, which ignores armor.
4.
So you take Nessalus will get hit with the. Did you get hit with the skull or the crossbones?
The skull.
The skull. So you get hit with this magical. If it were possible, apparently it's a glowing black. If you can make
That
black
suits my
glow.
mood.
He does. Yeah. So you get hit by that, and what's Calamity up to at this point? See, clearly the wizard is freed now. Juff is screaming, burning. Half of the pirates are dead on the ground from the fire blast, and Truk probably has several wisps of smoke coming up from the few bits of clothes that he has.
He's got an eyebrow singed off.
Yeah.
Calamity. Go ahead.
On the 7 to 9, he should have made an attack back against me.
It was her.
It hit her instead of you.
Hit
The
me.
spell was already in progress to her.
Okay, so he can't.
So
actually
his spell
do
went
that.
off, but you reduced it by half.
Okay.
He wasn't attacking you anyway. He got to make his move, so to speak.
So Calamity, since he is part of the city guard, the city guard protects their own.
Yeah.
He wants to call upon them to help with the situation.
The city guard themselves.
Yep.
So
You're
they
going to bring innocent people in on this.
They're probably starting to show up.
Okay.
How would you convince them to help? Because they might not, the locals might not know you. You've talked to the people in charge, right? The
So
head.
I will hold up the sheriff's badge or the constabulary badge, and I will yell out to them that the pirates have come to plunder my
Booty.
trading my booty,
Hope they got
my
loot
trading
first.
station, and I need help with repelling them.
Okay. What would this be? It almost sounds like you want to use the I am the law move.
Well, I'm not using I am the law because I've already.
What would you want to do?
It's basically a parlay.
Okay. But what is it that you have that they want? What leverage do you have over them? Because it sounds like you're
He's
telling them to
deputized.
defend
That
you.
we are deputized. That we are part
Okay.
of the city guard.
So you're using.
I'm using the star as the
His
proof.
Got it.
new
Okay.
status.
Understood now. Go for it. Let's get a roll there.
But because I did use the I am the law, I have a +1 going forward.
yes,
with
you
them.
do. Yeah.
So it's this +3.
And
That is a 9 + 3.
12.
Okay.
These dice. These
that's
dice
working
are-
well for you,
right?
All right, so they do draw their swords. They remember most of Wint is dwarves,
Yeah.
so they are dwarves. They draw their short swords, and a couple of them have battle axes. And it looks like you're getting 4 guards joining in with you,
Okay.
and they're charging forward towards the pirates.
All right.
So the city guard are dwarfs?
Yeah, pretty much the whole city is run by dwarves.
Remember?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
With the elementals?
yeah. The elementals hang out by the docks, by the way, so they're not in the city because they would be setting everything on fire. Yeah, gonna set the place on fire.
On fire.
All right.
So,
that,
Truk, you are smoldering.
I'm smoldering.
There are now
Stop, drop, and
dwarves
roll.
running to join the fray on your side. What are you going to do? The pirates don't appear to be coming after you right now, but they're
Yeah.
still... Like the wizard just cast his skull and crossbones spell at Nessalus. And Joff is apparently getting over his initial burns, but hasn't done anything yet.
I guess. Pardon me. I'm very tempted to retreat given my condition, but I think I'm going to try to make one more aggressive strike against Joff, and then immediately disengage and come back towards Nessalus.
Now, I want to make one point that earlier in the war room, in the conference room, if you will, Calamity had mentioned that he wanted to try and enlist the pirates as a merchant marine. I want to bring that up again to remind you guys whether you want to kill them or not, or just get them to surrender, bargain with them, whatever it is.
Remove the
Didn't
leadership.
you want to take the leadership out.
Okay, and that's why I just want to clarify for me and for you guys the next steps.
So my understanding was,
So you
in
go after
perfect world,
Jeff.
we kill or disable Jeff and the wizard, and then we take the rest.
Okay. So
So,
go
I don't
straight
know
up
whether-
at Jeff. There's nothing in your way now.
Right, so I'm going to try
It's
to do
still a
one
hack and slash.
single strike at his neck,
Yeah.
a double fist or double knife hand to his neck, and then, but also with the goal of immediately disengaging and running if I can.
Okay. So the start will be a hack and slash.
Hack and slash.
So you're going to attack
Holy
him.
Mother of Mary!
What you get?
3 plus 0. Twice in a
No,
row.
you have you use dexterity for your hack and slash.
3 plus 2.
Well, I mean, you still failed, but it's not plus 0. All right, so you mark an experience. As you get up to him, he gets his sword up just in time to stop you, and 2 of the pirates that remain come in behind you, and he slashes forward with his notched cutlass, and he hits you for a D8 of damage.
As he should, if I'm that bad. 5.
And you can subtract your armor this time,
Okay, so
because I did the D8.
So I'm not using my staff, so my armor's only 1, so I will take 4. And I'm down to 8.
Ow. So what I want to do here is, I'm going to step out for a moment. JJ, if you would have the conversation with Elena and Truk briefly about what the next steps are.
Okay.
And who should be doing what to whom in order to fulfill your desired goal of profitability.
So essentially, what I want to happen here is, Truk, retreat. Let me lay on hands, and then to Elena, I tell you to smother the wizard's face so that he can't cast anymore. Shove your fist down his throat. And then to the city guard, I'm going to tell them to apprehend these criminals so that I can reform them.
Okay, so I'm just disengaging.
Yeah, disengage.
Do I need to roll anything for that?
I don't know because I'm not the GM, but I will engage on you to bring the healing to you.
Okay.
So I'm going to attempt to lay on hands and pray for your well-being. All right, so let's see how does roll. So that's 8 plus 2, 10. On a 10 plus, I heal 1d8 damage.
To me?
To you, yeah, I heal 1d8 damage on you. 5 damage.
So you heal 5?
I heal you for 5.
So I'm to 13.
There you go.
That is manageable. I can't remember. In Dungeon World, do we just heal on, end of session or rest, or how does that work?
I don't know, honestly. So to Nestleus, I tell you, good work on the leader of the pirates. Can you focus your energies back on that wizard now?
I got this. So
Keep in mind that the wizard is underneath me.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think Elena is fisting him in the mouth.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be fisting the wizard in the mouth.
I like it. So I need something that's targeted.
So Joe,
All right.
now that you
do
step
it,
back
if
in,
you were to do a quick recap of that last minute.
I have told Kurt to retreat, and I approached him and used lay on hands
Okay.
for him, and I managed to cast successfully with a 10.
Cool.
These dice are on fire from you. Thank you very much
You heal me for 5.
for 5 hit points. And then
All right.
I told Elena to focus her attention on the wizard to keep him from casting by shoving her fist down his throat.
Okay.
I told the city guard to apprehend these criminals.
Nice idea. Okay.
And I told Nestleus to refocus her attentions onto the wizard.
All right. So the guards at that point, let me play out the guards. They will start forcibly detaining the pirates that aren't dead, and they'll get them in their manacles, their handcuffs, and start rounding them up, putting them up against the wall of the building outside of the guild, the merchant shop. The name was the Fires of Ascaranth, Merchant Charter House. That
place.
They get them. They start rounding them up there as you guys are doing this, and Elena, will be right in the wizard's face already, in Fred's face. So that part's easy. What was Nessalus going to do next?
To refocus her attentions onto the wizard.
By way of?
All right, so where is Jeff right now? He's being...
Jeff is being harassed by a burly woman with a longsword.
Fantastic. I'm going to walk...
About 20 feet from you, outside.
I'm going to walk up to the wizard.
You were the last one still maybe at the doorway of the shop. You're right there.
I'm going to walk up to the wizard.
Okay.
Can I do this? All right.
Sure.
So she's going to...
You can do it. Let's see what rules you invoke in doing it.
She's going to walk up to the wizard and kind of manifest a fireball kind of like on her palm above.
So you can prestidigitate easy. So you can fake it until you need to make it.
There we go. So I'll prestidigitate like a fireball on
Yeah.
her hand as she walks up to the wizard and just says, "Do you see what I did to your friend?
No.
Do you want me to do the same to you? If I were you,
Yeah.
I'd turn myself in now and avoid future pain."
Where's the tip of your longsword as this happens? I'm just curious. Well, what assistance are you providing in the threat is what I'm asking.
I mean, I have him on the ground.
Okay.
I have not yet actually. What did she write?
She wants to put fish on her bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had not yet actually pulled out my sword for anything.
Oh, because you started by slashing at him. You started
Did I?
with a hack and slash before. Yeah.
Does
so
that necessarily mean that I attacked him?
Well,
I feel like I
since
probably
you said
would have.
You did, yes.
Okay. I mean, with that.
Yes. But you can do whatever you want. What I'm looking for here is when we get to the point of a roll happening, what are we going to be using for the roll? So far, I'm seeing it as Nessalus is threatening him. Mm-hmm. You were already physically harming / threatening him. Mm-hmm. What is it that you are going to do to finalize this threat, to solidify it so he understands you guys mean business?
Slam his head in the ground.
Okay. So I'm going to call that specifically a hack and slash. So we're going to do that as Nessalus is providing her magical threat. Elena is going to slam his head into the ground with a roll of 2d6 plus strength for a hack and slash.
Hack and slash.
And we will see how that works out by rolling dice and having
That's
a number
9 plus
that
2 is 11.
Okay.
Let me forget math for a second.
So it works out pretty well.
So, Nessalus, he answers you by passing out.
Why do they always pass out when I play with them?
Oh dear.
His consciousness is probably about 6 inches in the road beneath his head at this point. As his head is slammed forcibly into the, let's say it's a cobblestone street outside of the Merchant Guild. It would have to be some kind of hardened street to handle the traffic that goes by there.
Yeah.
And that is going to get us to the point where we're wrapping this one up. But before we do that, I want to hear how we are going to try and get them on the side of the city. Mentioning the Merchant Marine, the Coast Guard, however we want to word it. What are the steps to get them now that their boss is dead?
Oh, so Fred is still...
Well, Fred's there. The wizard is still there.
Fred's
however,
still alive.
However,
and so
Jeff
since he was
is not.
Since he was the last link in the chain of command, I actually want to approach him with Nessalus's help, so that she can provide a little magical assistance with
Persuasion?
Yeah, a little persuasion. I believe she has a spell called Charm Person,
I do.
She does.
which would help with persuading him. And essentially, what I want to do is I want to sit down and say that more money can be made legally than illegally.
Okay.
That's going to be the primary goal of my persuasive tactics.
Okay.
You know, a merchant marine is, if Wint is at war with any other of its neighbors, merchant marines are legalized piracy.
Yeah.
Because you pirate for Wint.
Okay. So that sounds good. And what we're going to do is I actually want to pick up our next episode with finding out the results of that, because that's going to kick us into a new adventure. All right. So for now, we're going to wrap this one up as our Dungeon World campaign continues, set in the world of Alamand. For this time, we will wrap it up saying...
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
We finish up this session with a question lingering in the air. Will the pirates concede and serve Calamte and Wint? Listen in for the next episode as Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Brit, and Joe continue the campaign. Thanks for joining us. The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.